What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday, people. The weekend is here. Arsenal are back in action tomorrow. Hopefully we can finally put that Crystal Palace game behind us. But let's be honest, people, that game may have cost us more than just the 3 points that we lost. And we're going to talk about it today. Big up everyone for tuning in. Make sure you lick down that like button. Subscribe as well. We are live on Twitch as well. So big up the Twitch gang as well tuning in. And press conference reaction with Mikel Arteta, people. I haven't seen anything that he said. I've literally been rushing around, so I haven't seen anything that he said. So we'll get into that. Brighton at home tomorrow. Listen, I know I say it every single game, people, but it's a must-win game. If we cannot beat Brighton at home, forget it, shut it down. It ain't going to happen. They are the most out-of-form team in the Premier League, along with Norwich. So it has to be 3 points. Let me slow this down. The chat's going wild, people. Let's go into Granit Xhaka mode, people. Slow it down and make sure I can get through your comments. Lots to talk about today. Bit of transfer news. We'll discuss the team, what we should pick tomorrow, so on and so forth. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who sent a message. Cruz is fine. Obviously, I cancelled the West Ham watch-along last night. Daddy duties and all of that, people. But big up everyone for the kind messages. Listen, tomorrow is a game that we have to win. This is a weekend where I've earmarked this as a weekend where we could potentially gain points back on Tottenham. As an Arsenal fan, I'm kind of clutching to the fact that Tottenham go to Aston Villa. And I believe Aston Villa are capable of taking points off Tottenham, even though they've been poor over the last few weeks. Manchester United go to Everton. Everton have been stinking out the place at the moment. But they have to produce a performance at some stage or they're going to end up in the Championship. So again, as I said, looking ahead to next weekend without looking too far ahead, people, we have the hardest game out of those three next week because Tottenham play Brighton at home, Man U play Norwich at home, we play Southampton away. So we have to somehow claw our way back into it this weekend and hope for results to go for us. Wasim said, big up Curtis and the community. My 29th today. Arsenal get those 3 points. Happy birthday to you, bro. Appreciate the support. And big up Mo in here. And Nick said, was his birthday yesterday. I'm glad to hear Cruz is okay. I appreciate that, bro. Happy birthday to for yesterday. Big up Dre. Big up Penalty Spot. Excellent member stream yesterday. Do you know what? We turned it from probably a meltdown therapy session into just pure laughter, you know. And that's what you have to do when you're an Arsenal fan, oh boy. You know, it's difficult supporting Arsenal, that's for damn sure. Fitz said the words straws and clutching come to mind. That's all we got right now, Fitz. I'm clutching, bro. I don't know if anybody saw, but yesterday on Twitter, I put up a picture of Arsenal with the Europa League badge next to them. And I don't know, Twitter just ain't got no sense of humour, man. I thought that was quite funny, but you know how it is on Twitter, people. Toxic social media site for real. But top four is gone, I think. Listen, we just got to hope. Just do what we can and we see what happens. It's one of them. A few bits and bobs to talk about today, people. Press conference reaction. I'm going to start off with Daily Darwin. And by the way, people, I'm not a Cubs fan, for everyone asking. I only got it because it's got the C on the front. C Unit Business, people. Daily Darwin is the first thing we're going to discuss today. And I would personally say this is 50% good. No, in fact, I'm going to say this is 20% good and 80% bad, in my opinion. Darwin Núñez has confirmed via his Twitter account he's going to leave his current agent. He's reportedly going to sign with a new representative who is close to George Mendes. Apparently, he is frustrated that Benfica didn't allow him to leave in January when West Ham had a €45 million bid rejected on the last day of the window. Let's talk about the positive. The positive thing is he clearly wants to leave the football club. It sounds like he was willing to go to West Ham. If he was willing to go to West Ham, you would think obviously he would come to Arsenal. That's the positive. He's looking for a move. He's changed agent to make sure he gets that move. The negative is George Mendes. George Mendes is in that category with Mino Raiola. He's going to bump you if you sign one of his players. Even though it's a representative close to Mendes, apparently he works in the same agency group as him. Mendes is the head of it. So all of a sudden, your £5-6 million signing on fee for Darwin Núñez might now be £15 million because George Mendes is lurking in the background. Your 45, 50, 60 million transfer fee, all of a sudden, the total package might look like 100 million now for the player. So on one hand, it's positive. The player's clearly looking for a move. On the negative side, you're talking about an agent that Arsenal don't often do business with due to his outrageous demands. So look at how you want people. I would say that even though the transfer fee may be acceptable, it will become a more expensive deal with George Mendes being involved. So depending on how you're looking at it, people. But it is what it is. Marlon said, not the Daily Man. I'm telling you, this is the new Vlahovic. But I genuinely think Mendes is a negative to this situation, if I'm being honest. Tony Fernandez said, driving over 3,000 miles from Arizona to DC. Thank you for the fire streams. You've been a ton of help. Staying awake and laughs. Completed the 35-hour drive in 2 days. Thank you to the C unit. Big up, Tony, man. Big up, Tony. Drive safe. Appreciate you tuning in. Amo said, this is why I love your stream in this community. The sense of humor is next level. Come on, man. We got the goated community here. I say it all the time. E. Shaw on Twitch saying, Curtis, I seen a post explaining stuff to do with Twitch. I screenshot it for you. Where would be the best place to send it? Hit me up on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Curtis Shaw 9. DMs are open. All help necessary, people, when it comes to Twitch. Big up my bro Broads in the chat. He said, cheese, Big C looking west side. Hey, man, the blue, you know what it is, people. But I only got it for the C. I might have to get the red hat just to balance it out. But just briefly, what are your thoughts on this Darwin Núñez news? I would look at, like I said, positive, he wants out. Negative, you're going to pay George Mendes a whole heap of money, people. Are they willing to pull out the brown envelopes to get this deal done? You know, you pull out enough brown envelopes, Mendes will probably say, listen, I'll make sure my client becomes an Arsenal player if there's enough envelopes on the table. Probably briefcases, in fact, not envelopes, probably not big enough. Christian said, big up everyone in the C unit. Big up Curtis, how is your son? Thank you for asking, bro. He's getting better now, so it should be fine. I appreciate everyone's kind messages. Gnabry's agent starting to speak with Bayern about extending his contract, but the way is long to accept what Bayern have offered him. And you know what? I'll get that up shortly, in fact, because I did have that as well. Saying that he was in talks about a new contract. So the Serge Gnabry dream could be over for Arsenal as well. Smooth One Jay said, C unit for me downloading Twitch, you know. Big up my brother, my only Twitch sub. Hey, I appreciate that, people. People downloading apps just to support. It's legit, people. Kai said, do we have a chance if United come in for Núñez? You're going to have two problems with Manchester United. Number one, if we offer him 150 grand a week, they're going to offer him 200. If we offer him 200, they're going to offer 250. They have way more money than us. Also, Ten Hag against Arteta, he might have more pull than Arteta. So, listen, there's a lot of reports saying Man United want a striker, but unless they get rid of Ronaldo, how do they buy an expensive striker? You can't leave Ronaldo on the bench. He's going to go crazy. Broad said we need to buy Jared Bowen. This is Broads and his East London bias screaming out of him. No, I'm not going to lie, man. Bowen was balling yesterday. And you know what? While I'm on the subject of that game, did anybody see Houssem Aouar's performance yesterday? I mean, I don't know if I'm just getting caught up in the fact I love silky ballers. Year left on his contract this summer, Houssem Aouar. I saw enough yesterday, people. I saw enough. I'd be on the phone to his agent this morning saying, listen, 1 year to go, get him in. Because he was silky yesterday. But you're right, bros. Jared Bowen's a good player. But we get bumped, man. West Ham aren't going to sell anybody on the cheap. I reckon they'd ask for 50 million plus. But he is a good player. Big up Brandon, who said, big up Big C. Pray Cruz is doing well. Blessings on you and the fam. I feel if we lose this weekend, we might be out the top four. Listen, if we lose this, if we don't beat Brighton, forget top four. But I'm going to be honest, I think we will beat Brighton. I do think we'll beat Brighton. Zach said, I've said from time he'd been my priority. I think Aouar yesterday was balling. The silk, the dribbling. Yeah, even Ndombele looked decent. Even on Dembele. Lawyer C, talk about Aubameyang's performance. Do you know I didn't even watch that game? I watched the West Ham game. I know they drew 1-1, I think, Barca. I haven't seen any of the highlights. I know Ferran Torres scored. So I honestly can't tell you how he played. Shibe said, I'm a Nunes fan, but this agent is a knock merchant. Yeah, listen, he's going to demand big money to get that deal done. So Darwin Nunes signing to George Mendes, I would say is negative for Arsenal, if I'm being totally honest, people. The second bit of news, quick bit of transfer news, and we've got a couple of bits to get through, but this also comes from Fabrizio regarding our boy Serge Gnabry. We still consider him one of our own, but will we ever see him in an Arsenal shirt ever again? I'm not so sure, people. He has said, while Bayern are working on the final details of Gravenberch and Mazzori, the board is negotiating with Serge Gnabry's agents to discuss his contract extension. Structure of guaranteed salary and add-ons is a key factor in the negotiation. Apparently, he wants the same. He wants the same wages that Leroy Sané is on. Leroy Sané earns around £70,000 a week more than Serge Gnabry. So obviously, listen, he's as good as Leroy Sané. In fact, he started and Sané's been on the bench a lot of the time. So I think, listen, we need to hope that this breaks down. But at the moment, I'm not optimistic of Serge Gnabry becoming a Gooner. Number one, I think we need Champions League football. Number two, we need this negotiation to collapse. And I don't think both of them things will probably happen, if I'm being honest. So Gnabry in talks for a new contract. Gooner 8 said Mendes will create a bidding war, 100%. 100%. That's what they do. Oh, yeah, you can get him to Arsenal, but guess what? This club wants him for 70 and 75. Before you know it, he's an £80 million player. Rodney said, do you think Hossam Aouar would come to Arsenal? How much would he cost? I mean, he's got a year left on his deal. I think they were talking about last season, 30 to 35 million. You might be able to get Aouar for less than 30 million. I'd be all over him, what I saw yesterday. He looked like a silky baller yesterday. He looked like he was up for the fight physically. Looked a quality player. You know, we've been linked with him for a long time. But once again, you know, will he be put off? He was in the French under-21 squad with Guendouzi. Apparently, Guendouzi and Aouar are quite good friends. Yeah, Matteo, Arsenal have made an offer for me. What's this Mikel Arteta like? 5 minutes later, man's hanging the phone up and blocking Arteta's phone number. And this is what I'm saying. Are the actions of Arteta and Arsenal going to affect transfers moving forward? I don't know. You know, I suppose money talks. You put enough money on the table, maybe ignores it. But got to be careful. But Aouar, for me, looked absolute quality against West Ham. And definitely a player that I think we should be looking at this summer. I'm actually surprised that we haven't already signed him, if I'm being totally honest. He should have been signed. He should have been signed already, if I'm being honest. Well, do you know what? We'll just get all the transfer news done first. Adantha said, bro, I just came here for one thing. ABCD press conference. Vasayan said, can't wait for our Amazon All or Nothing. I'm literally going to do watch-alongs for each episode. Honestly, like, it's going to be next level. It's going to be... This is where I might have to do things on Twitch, because we can watch it in the background. It's going to be mad. It's going to be berserk. It's going to break all the records, I tell you that much. Another bit of transfer news, people. They're names that we've spoken about time and time again, so I'm only going to quickly go over them. Arsenal and Manchester United are continuing to pursue Youri Tielemans, who is now valued at just £25 million. There is no truth in the links to Liverpool. I mean, 25 million, I wouldn't say no at 25 million. Even though I've said many times, I don't think Tielemans has had a good season. You can clearly see with Arsenal that one new centre midfielder is not enough. You can't lose one player in midfield, and all of a sudden your team's in crisis. You lose one left back and it's a crisis. That can't be the one. Tielemans is definitely not having his best of seasons. And one thing that I've really realised this season is his lack of mobility. He's way slower than I actually thought he was. And I spoke to a few Leicester fans about him, and they say basically that Ndidi does a lot of his dirty work. And Ndidi's been injured quite a lot this season. And he's been exposed a little bit at times, Youri Tielemans. So you need quality around him, you need energy, and you need players that can win the ball back. But listen, we've got Granit Xhaka in midfield at the moment for £25 million. I'm in no position to reject Youri Tielemans, despite the fact I don't think he would be my number one target. But 25 million, absolutely, I would bring him to the carpet. Tielemans at 25, signed the check. We need 2 starting centre mids. And you're right, because at the moment, we can't rely on Thomas Partey. He breaks down more than an old school Vauxhall Astra people. Kadar said, big up the Twitch gang. Big up to all of you, whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube. Should be good. Something like 30 years since they last released anything, Arsenal. I mean, listen, we're PRFC. We'll make it look good. We'll definitely make it look good. London and Curtis cannot be blue. Buy a Reds cap. Yeah, don't worry. I'll get a red one as well. Don't worry, people. But hey, let's move on from that. We'll skip through that one anyway. Right. Let's get into the main part of the show today. You know what time it is, people. It's Mickey Ross season. It's the Cone Man music. It's the boss, Mickey Ross. He's back in the building. We got slapped at Crystal Palace on Monday. And things have gone from bad to worse this week. Not only did we lose 3-0, not only did Patrick Vieira, the former legend, batter us and hammer our confidence. On top of that, Kieran Tierney is out for the season. And his replacement, Nuno, the dogman, got dragged off once again. And Thomas Partey crumbled like them Indomie noodles he loves. And he could be out for the season. Mickey Ross is back, people. Every day I'm waffling. He certainly won't look like this today after what happened on Monday night. It is press conference reaction. Cone Man music business. Get the syrup ready. It's lunchtime. Let's get into his latest press conference, people. And I'm telling you, if I don't see questions that need asking, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. The first question should be, why did Kieran Tierney play 2 games for Scotland when you knew he was carrying an injury? Will they ask him that? Of course they won't ask him that. Will they ask him, why do you regret not signing anybody in January? Probably not. Will they ask him about Lacazette not scoring for 16 games? I doubt it. Nuno DMX Tavares, shout out Darkman X, rest in peace, one of the best rappers ever. But Nuno, you're going to need some bite this weekend, I can't lie. Let's get into the press conference reaction. He's still smiling. But you know what? I don't think that's the genuine smile. It's like that frown when someone tells a joke that ain't really that funny. And you're just like, yeah. But you're not really smiling. If you look close, I'd say he's more grinding his teeth together than smiling. It's that smile, of a man that still can't believe what went wrong. Man said, I've been planning for 2 weeks, mate. In the home game, you were sniffing Vieira's armpit. This time, he just clapped you all over the place, bro. I'm telling you, it ain't a genuine smile, man. It ain't a genuine smile. He's grinding his teeth together. I can see a few grey hairs here as well, man. I don't know what happened. Soul Glow ain't working there. Look, I see some stress there. Conor Gallagher, Patrick Vieira, Wilfried Zaha. There's a few greys there, Mikel. It's what management does to you, bro. It's serious, I'm telling you. But we're moving, people. We're moving. Let's hear what Mickey Ross had to say and listen to these pathetic questions that they'll ask him. First question. On Monday's game, he said, Monday is gone. We're looking forward to playing in front of our fans. That's it, yeah, nothing, no tactical explanation, no 2 weeks off, all them tactics, 3-0 defeat, Monday's gone, that's it. Oh, hey, mate, don't worry about Monday, Monday's gone. Just put that game in the bin, will you, with Brentford and Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool, and selling Aubameyang for nothing. Yeah, just bin it. Just bin it. You know, I've been in the kitchen cooking all afternoon and I've burnt the dinner. Yeah, just bin it, mate. Don't worry about it. We'll get a takeaway. Yeah, Monday's gone. Don't worry about it. Monday's gone, people. Hey, don't worry about that. Monday's gone. It's Friday. You know, it's gone. Move on. Featuring Nuno the Dogman. Oh. Mickey Ross featuring the Dogman Tavares. Hey, don't worry, people. It's gone. It's gone. Don't worry. Just scrap it. Yeah, I've crashed the car. Just scrap it, mate. Yeah, but it's a Lambo. Yeah, just scrap it. It's gone. That was on Monday. You know, we'll be on the bus by Sunday. Don't worry. Free hit at Palace. It was too much for him. Second question. On what he learnt from Monday, he said, we have to play better and we have to compete much better than we did on Monday. Second. I mean, right. So that's it, yeah? That's all you're going to tell us. We've got to do better than we did on Monday. That's all, yeah? Okay, cheers, mate. Thanks for that, mate. Great managerial insight. Yeah, we have to. I think we do have to play better than we did on Monday. Man said it's Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday. What? It's Friday. That man said, yo, don't worry about Monday, man. It's what happens on the weekend, bruv. You know what I mean? Yeah, we lose 3-0 on Monday, but on the weekend, it's all good, people. Yeah, we just got to do better than we did on Monday. That's it. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that amazing insight. Just do better than you did on Monday, mate. You know? Hey, big up Fran in the chat. He said, big up the community. Hope you're well, my bro. And, yeah, amazing tactical analysis. I am going to... You do realise, people, that eventually I'm going to have to do press conference reaction on Twitch because the fact we can watch the video... That's going to send me over the edge. Imagine me watching him say this. I don't think I'd get through the video. So eventually we will be doing press conference reactions on Twitch because to watch what he's saying is unbelievable. But yeah, no worries, people. We just got to do better than we did on Monday. So nothing to worry about. Right, on Thomas Partey's injury. He said it is a little bit ambiguous, but he has a significant injury and we'll have to keep assessing him. He will be out for some weeks. It could be an issue, but it could also not be because it's an area where he had a previous injury as well. He felt it straight away. It's not quick. I mean, I hate to cherry pick everything he says, although I kind of don't at the same time. But he said it could be an issue, but it could also not be. I mean, I'd say it is an issue. Because our best midfielder could be out for the season. How could it not be an issue? You know? I don't know. But yeah, he's going to be out. Listen, let me tell you something. I pulled my thigh muscle in my right thigh about 18 months, 2 years ago. When I had it assessed, they said there's 3 grades of pull that you can do. The first one is usually about 2 to 3 weeks. The second one is about 6 to 8 weeks. And the third one can be anything from 12 weeks up to even 4 or 5 months you can be out for. If he'd done the first grade 2 or 3 weeks, the club would have said, they would have said, Partey's out for 2 or 3 weeks. Not the end of the world. He'll be back. If it was the third one, that's guaranteed season over. The second one, you could be looking 4 to 6 weeks, but the season finishes in 6 weeks. And the thing is, you lose muscle in your leg. It takes time when you come back. You've got to train. Basically, season's a wrap, in my opinion. His season's a wrap. But they just don't want to say it. Because if it was the short-term one, they would have said it. It's as simple as that. Video is comedy gold now, to be honest. Too much waffle. That's him done for minimum 2 weeks. I think he's out for longer than that. After the YouTube streams, we head there for the video. Yeah, that's what we could do. Do the whole thing on here, then head over there for the video straight after. That would be a good one. The only way to hear the Champions League music is if you sing it. Yeah, man, listen, I don't expect that to be playing around the Emirates anytime soon. I'm keeping my Thursdays free next season. Let me just say that, people. Dundalk away, people. I'm expecting that to happen. Sack the medical team. I mean, it sounds like a recurring injury. Isn't it crazy that this guy was not injury prone at Atletico? He comes to us and just breaks down 24/7. You know, I don't get it. J7 said, greetings from Miami, Big C over here in America. The coaches shoot it straight about injuries. I don't know why Arteta is ambiguous. Big up Snake Eyes, who said he's on vacation in the Dominican Republic. All right for some, bro. And Penalty Spot said, no issue. We didn't want fourth this season anyway. Didn't want it anyway, people. You know, we just wanted to get back into Europe. It's progress. We finished 8th last year. If we finish 6th this year, let's have a parade. It's progress. He just needs 4 more transfer windows, people. 4 more windows and we'll get in that top 4. Don't you worry about that. Another 500 million and we'll get there, people. Bear in mind, when he took over, we'd finish 5th. He took us back to 8th, then 8th again, and now we could be heading for 6th, 7th, 5th. I don't know. He spent $250 million. Let me move on. It's ambiguous, as he says. Maybe it's a bit ambiguous. On Kieran Tierney's injury, he said, Our responsibility is to look after them when we have them here. But once they go to the national team, in this case, it's their job and responsibility to decide the team that they believe is the best to win the games. We have to try to have quick communication with the national teams, which we have. But these things happen. Now, I'm sorry. No. I don't know. No, I don't accept it. I don't accept that for 1 second. This is where I have head loss with this manager. This is where I have head loss with the manager. What is he talking about? Does this guy not know when your player is called up for international duty, you give instructions to them about what happens with that player? They don't tell you. They don't pay his wages. We pay his wages. He's our player. He's our employee. You can't say, well, oh, but once he goes to the national team, it's up to them what they do with him. What's he talking about? We found out yesterday that Kieran Tierney's been carrying this knee injury for weeks, playing through the pain barrier. Scotland had 2 international friendlies, and you did not give instructions to Scotland. He's one of our most important players. He's carrying a knee injury. We feel it's best we pull him out of this squad. They're not qualifiers. They play their playoff games in the summer at the end of the season, Scotland. Yeah, you're going to need him for that. We've got 9 cup finals left, as we keep saying. And we've allowed him to go and play 2 friendlies. Knee's been mashed up. Now he's out for the season. Now you're in the press conference blaming the Scotland team for mashing him up. And he has the cheek to end this statement by saying, but these things happen. I mean, come on, man. Would Jurgen Klopp do this? Would Pep do this? Would Conte do this? How many times do you see an international break and everyone gets called up to the squad and all of a sudden you go on Sky Sports and, oh, Trent's been pulled out of the England squad with a knock. Reece James has been pulled out. All these players start dropping out the squad because the manager's saying, big man, we got a big game after the international break. You ain't playing no friendly, meaningless friendly for England. Man, start dropping out the squad. This, for me, is a shambles, people. Yo, Gab said, but he got a Team of the Week card on FIFA. Hey, these things happen, mate. These things happen. Don't worry about it. You know, he's out for the season, but these things happen. Not that you could have stopped him from going there, Mikel. Not that you could have told them, you're the guy who pays his wages. Scotland don't pay the wages, bro. Weak. Man didn't want to make the phone call. Make the phone call, bro. He's pulling out the squad. He's got to take some responsibility. I do not respect that comment. I'm sorry. And some people will get on to me in the comments, oh, that's harsh. He didn't know he was going to get injured. They've known for weeks that he had this injury. You know that the replacement for him is nowhere near good enough. So you don't risk it. Pointless friendlies that he didn't need to play in. Soft manager. Like you're saying, Fitz, inexperience. This is where I complain about having a manager who's never managed. Experienced managers don't let this happen, but we do. And now we got to pay the price because now we got a Rottweiler playing left back till the end of the season. But these things happen, people, as he said. So we move. It is what it is. Penalty Spot said, driving an Arsenal car is like being stuck in reverse. We don't do forward planning. You just would have sat there, wouldn't you? Right, international break's coming up. What are we going to do? Right, Tierney's got to be pulled out. He can't play for Scotland. It's different sometimes if, like, Partey played 2 qualifiers to get his nation to the World Cup. They are huge games. 2 friendlies. Come on, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. But listen, it is what it is. We move people. On Nuno Tavares proving himself. He said, throughout your career, you have to go through difficult moments. He's had some really good periods since he's arrived. He was playing many more minutes than he probably was expecting. That's the life of a player, especially at that age. There's ups and downs, and we are here to try and help him make his career better. That's what we're going to do. There will be ups and downs, smiles and frowns. You just reminded me of that song. I used to love that song, Snoop Dogg. It's appropriate for Nuno Tavares as well, you know, with the dog business. So, sorry, I just had to break out into song there. I might have to listen to that song after, but hey. Yeah, many ups and downs. I mean, taking him off after 30 minutes against Nottingham Forest, then he doesn't start another game, and then you drag him off after 45. This kid's confidence must be like... Where's his confidence at right now? Because let me tell you, even the most professional of players would be fuming with the manager. I have to admit, I've never been taken off in the first half, ever. I have been taken off at half-time once, and I kicked off. I kicked off with the manager. And that's bad enough. Never mind getting dragged in the first half, people. Are they going to play him this weekend? Is there a way to get... We're going to talk about that after anyway, what team we would go with. Man said, help him by subbing him off every game. Maybe he's saving him. Maybe he's saving his energy, you know. He said, right, 30 minutes, get him off, you know. So it's like taking a dog for a walk, innit? Eventually, you got to get him home to get him some water. So maybe that's what he does. He just takes Tavares for a walk, 30 minutes. He goes, right, get him back in now. Get the dog biscuits out and get him some water. Get him off. The philosopher, Mikel. Not the smartest of guys, although he seems to think he is. Ayan said, Carragher saying Liverpool versus City is the biggest rivalry. I mean, we know that's a joke, you know. I know they've, in terms of footballing quality, but there is no real rivalry between them. Let's not paint that picture. Party after party. Ain't no sunshine when shit. Big tune, big tune. Hey, wait till we're on Twitch. It's all going mad. Dre and Penalty Spot. Don't worry, man. We're going to do this. Got the DJs waiting for us, people. What's this Tavares dog talk? I'm telling you. Maybe I have to promise him like a good snack and you'll get a performance out of him. I don't know. It is what it is. Tomiyasu at left back. Bro, Tomiyasu's injured for at least 2 weeks. You ain't getting Tomiyasu for a while. Belair said, morning, Big C. See you, net. Liverpool City is definitely the biggest rivalry. Biggest rivalry in terms of the 2 best teams clashing with each other. But their fan base doesn't have no genuine, like, it ain't some long-lasting rivalry. It ain't no big derby game. It's just 2 top-quality teams clashing with each other, you know? Woof, woof settings, man. Woof, woof settings. Right, let's get through. And whether he is ready for it. He said he is ready and he is willing. And he will be disappointed. But it's part of the job and we have to make decisions to try and win football matches. There is nothing personal there. He's got nothing against dogs, mate. Nothing against dogs. It's not personal. It's definitely not personal. But he just drags him every game. But listen, all jokes aside, against Nottingham Forest, he was terrible. I thought he should have probably waited till half-time. And the other day, he was poor. But as I always say, there were other players who were just as bad. I don't think it's fair to scapegoat him. But clearly, this is a player that they scouted and signed. So what did you see in his game that convinced you to spend £8 million on him? You know, the Benfica fan who I had on the channel, he told me that this guy can't defend. He's not a football expert. He's just a football fan. He said, bro, this guy can't defend. He said, you'll enjoy him going forward, but he can't defend. So why did we not know that? I don't understand, you know. But hey, let's continue, people. Let me not get caught. Apparently, he's ready for it. He's ready and willing. On Sambi Lokonga, he said he played well a lot in the first part of the season. Obviously, when you have one game a week, you don't have European football. Whose fault is that, by the way? But I won't continue with that. It's more difficult to share the minutes because the minutes are less. And there are players who haven't had a lot of chances to play. It's an opportunity for them to show what they can do. So, is he going to go with Xhaka and Lokonga or Xhaka and El Neni? I kind of think he's going to go with Lokonga. Fabrizio Romano said the other day, Arsenal have no intention of offering a new contract to Mohamed El Neni. Are you going to put your trust in somebody that is leaving the club in 6 weeks, who may have already agreed a contract with another club? Or are you going to go with a player that you paid £17 million for, that's been in the Belgium squad, that's going to be a part of Arsenal's future? I kind of think you've got to go with Lokonga. I know we kind of know what we're going to get with El Neni. And sometimes managers like to pick players who are reliable, even if that quality level is not very high. But I would say sink or swim for Sambi Lokonga. It's also an opportunity for him to make himself a hero at the end of the day. This is how heroes are made. This is how footballers break through. You know, injuries, and all of a sudden you got to chuck somebody in and they become the hero. So I would go with Sambi personally. Clement said, keep Tavares at left-back for Brighton, then figure out who plays left-back at Southampton. I do tend to agree with that. Tavares looks like a modern-day Gus Caesar. Oh, my days. King said, I think Xhaka and Odegaard in centre mid and ESR on the 10. I think that's possible against Brighton. Although I'm saying that, I'm talking about Brighton like they're just a poor team. They've got Basuma in midfield, let's be honest. He could mash work on Xhaka and Odegaard. You know, he's a beast by himself at times. Keown on TalkSport said Saka at left back, he is tripping. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I would say that Saka is probably our second best left back at the club, if I'm being totally honest. He played there quite a few times for Unai Emery and looked very good there. The problem is he's so instrumental in our attack at the moment. I can't see the manager doing that. I just think he won't. I can understand why people are saying it. I just don't think he will. Michael said that's how Rashford got his start. They had no one else. I mean, for anyone that don't know, Rashford was joining Crew Alexander on loan 2 days before Manchester United had injury problems. And the deal was delayed. They got injuries. They had to start him against who else but Arsenal. And the man goes and scores 2 goals. And the rest is history. Obviously, I think he scored in Europe a few days before. So, listen, we need a hero. I can be your hero, baby. Who used to sing that, man? I forget. Was that Enrique Iglesias? Yo, we need a hero right now, people. Let me tell you. Is it going to be Lokonga or Tavares? On Alexander Lacazette's lack of goals. Wow, they went there. They went there. First decent question they've asked the whole time. I can't lie. I would have gone into more detail just to make the question a bit spicier. I would have probably said on Lacazette not scoring for 16 games despite the fact you let Aubameyang go on a free and didn't replace him in January. At that point, I would have probably been escorted off the premises by Arsenal security, but it is what it is, people. Yeah, a bit of Enrique Iglesias, man. You don't get that on a Friday on any other channel, people. You know what I'm saying? We're here, people. On Lacazette's lack of goals, he said, you evaluate whether you win or lose. It's not what we do. It's not our job. Laca's contribution to the team in many other ways has been phenomenal. Anyone else need a drink? Need a drink. He's been phenomenal. Laca's contribution's been phenomenal. I mean, what's been phenomenal about him, Mikel? Please, I mean, they didn't follow it up with that question, but at what point in football did strikers stop scoring goals? Like, ain't a goalkeeper's job to save the ball. You know, we're not talking about the goalkeeper. We're talking about him saving shots. We're talking about the striker being a goal threat. Man said in many other ways he's been phenomenal. I mean, stop the cap as South London's fan. He hasn't been phenomenal in any way. The only thing phenomenal about Lacazette is his beard. The shape-up's tremendous. Everything else, mate, you never put the word phenomenal to Lacazette. I'm sorry. Lacazette, our greatest CDM. To be honest, it's the long-term replacement to Gilberto Silva, people. That's all I see right now. I don't see a striker. I don't even see an attempt at a striker. Laka, the greatest CDM ever. He said, of course we want the strikers to score goals, and we know that when we're winning games as well, and we require them to do that. So nothing has changed. So you require him to do that, and we want the strikers to score goals, but he's been phenomenal in many other ways. He's been phenomenal. Yeah, I think it's the hair that connects Lacazette and Arteta, I'm telling you. You know, Arteta comes in, putting gel in his hair, a bit of Brill cream, even though he's got a few greys coming. And Lacazette comes in, combing the beard. I think they've got a hair connection. You know, that's what's carrying them together. But yeah, he doesn't score goals, but phenomenal. At what? I don't know, because the hold-up play's disappeared. The link-up play hasn't happened. But he's been phenomenal. If somebody can explain to me what he's been phenomenal at, my DMs are open, people. I would love to know in the comments what Lacazette has been phenomenal at. It's interesting that he never mentioned what he's been phenomenal at, because I think he's slightly capping. We all know he hasn't been phenomenal. Oh my Jay said, it's like saying the postman is a fabulous dancer. Who cares? His job is to deliver the damn post. He's a striker who doesn't score goals. I mean, I could not have put it better. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see the postman moonwalking outside the front door and then drop my post. Put it through the door, do the job, and move on. Lacazette's a striker that doesn't score goals and doesn't even shoot. The man hasn't scored in 16 games from open play. I mean, Santa Claus has been, dropped the presents off, and left since Lacazette last scored. I mean, it's Easter next week. He scored, it was winter. You know, it's spring now. We're not far from summer. This man hasn't scored another goal. Although he did score a hat-trick against Brentford under 10s. But we move, people. Lies on top of lies. Just pure waffle. Waffle upon waffle upon waffle, people. I'm running out of syrup right here. Big C, get Kev on here. He needs to answer some questions for us about Arteta. No backups in January. Knowing we're in a top 4 fight. Decision-making-ish. Listen, and I've said this time and time again. In my head, top 4 for this club was a bonus. I think they sat there in January and said, listen, you know what, Mikel? Just get through to the end of the season with what you've got. It looks like we're going to get Europa League. We're happy with that. If you get top 4, it's a bonus. But as long as we're back in Europe, just work with what you've got, Mikel. You know, Eddie and Laka. There's no way on earth that this is a club that is serious about getting top 4. And January told us that, if we're being honest. On the belief of finishing in the top 4, he said, the setback has happened, and it's happened with 9 games to go, and we have to react now. We have to show tomorrow the energy, commitment, and passion. We want to play the game tomorrow in front of our fans. And listen, fair play to it. And as I said, people, I do think we'll beat Brighton tomorrow. If you was asking me to pick who we was playing tomorrow, I would have probably said Norwich, Watford or Brighton at home, you know, hopefully a sunny afternoon, and we turn them over. I do think we'll beat Brighton. On how training has been, he said, it's been very good. We had to recognise why we lost the game and react and move forward as we always do. The only way we can move is forward. Now we move forward. We have to be in constant movement, and the players will be ready tomorrow. Constant movement, people. I'm telling you, they were probably like, you know what I mean? Man got them all on the training ground, said, listen, all right, we need constant movement. Right, Nuno at the back, get us going, people. Man just started doing star jumps, you know what I mean? Then man just moving all the time. I said, keep moving. We didn't move enough at Palace. You know what I mean? We just got to move, people. We just got to move. But nah, listen, fair enough. All jokes aside, we do have to move forward. I can't help it, man. I've got a wicked sense of humour. But no, we have to move forward. We have to beat Brighton. And then we need Gerrard and Coutinho to do us a favour. Tomorrow will probably be a double watch-along on here, by the way, just to let you know. We'll be doing the Arsenal watch-along. And then Tottenham play Villa at 5:30. As long as Arsenal don't lose, because obviously if Arsenal lose or draw, I will not be in the frame of mind to do any more watch-alongs. As long as we beat Brighton, we'll do the Spurs Villa watch-along afterwards. And obviously we'll be doing Man City against Liverpool watch-along on Sunday as well. So lots going off, people. Laka scored a hat-trick against Brentford under 10s, eh? He's lethal when there's no cameras there, mate. I'm telling you. He's like R9 when there's no cameras. Jay Dime said, Big C, I love you, bro, but if we don't make top four, I'm done. I actually can't take what this club does to us. No striker or DM in January. It's just a joke thing. I mean, to be fair, though, bro, we moved here to compete with Bayern Munich. That's what they told us. We're currently in a top four race with West Ham, you could say. And we're saying if we don't get top four, it's acceptable because it's progress. I'm sorry. No. Not for me. Not for me. And I feel I've been fair with this manager. 250 million, 3 seasons, and at a stretch, you're getting us back into the Europa League that that we was in anyway. If somebody puts a brick through your window and smashes your window and then stands there and said, don't worry though, I'll fix it. You're not going to go, oh, cheers, mate, thanks, yeah, in your own time, just get it fixed. You know, the rain's coming in the house, but at least you're going to fix it, no problem. Nah, you ain't going to say that. You're going to look for your baseball bat and start chasing man down the road, bruv. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I feel like that Arteta's done. He smashed our window and then telling us he's going to fix it. We were a Europa League club when you took over. You took us out of it. And then we're praising him for getting us back into it when you've just done 250 million. That just doesn't add up for me. It does not add up. But hey, it is what it is, people. Maybe you'll put double glazing windows in. There might be better windows, you know. Trust the process. Trust the process. You won't get no wind, no draft coming through this. LT Gaming said, so was Oba phenomenal for Arsenal? I mean, I'm really not sure where that question comes from. But I'd say for the first 2 years, he was pretty phenomenal. 2.5 years, in fact, I'd say he was. And then he went crashing downhill. No coincidence that no striker has done anything of significance under this manager. So LT, I would say, under Arsene Wenger, under Unai Emery, and the first 6 months under Mikel Arteta, I'd say he was phenomenal. Yeah, I would. After that, he was horrific. But he looks pretty decent in Barcelona to me. And he'll probably end up with trophies this season as well. Omar. Hey, big up Omar with the super chat, bro. Appreciate that. Phenomenal movements featuring Amatrain, the Cone Man. The new drop out now. Cone Man music. Phenomenal movement featuring Lacazette. I'm telling you, people, I don't get it. I don't get it. People quickly forget what people have done. People quickly forget. But hey, it is what it is. Forget. Ain't he the fastest striker to 50 goals in Arsenal history? But apparently he's always been terrible. Hey, Dangerous D said Arteta ball ruined Aubameyang. Bro, we're 5th from bottom in chances created. What striker would perform in this team? Get Lewandowski here and see what he does. I guarantee his numbers will drop. Put Benzema in this team. He'll be starving for goals, mate. We're 5th from bottom, chances created. Not many strikers are going to thrive in this system. And that's factual, people. Let's have a look. Aubameyang's form dropped the day he signed his new deal. He down tools massively. Maybe it was something to do with the money. I don't know. Maybe it was the system. Maybe it was age and the speed catching up with him. Maybe a collective of all of them. It's very difficult for me to really say what it was. But the fact is, no strikers thrived under him. Rowan said, Ozil, fastest to 50 Premier League assists. Aubameyang, fastest to 50 goals for Arsenal. But people forget. We can't forget, people. We can't forget. Jean-René said, this is what I don't like, Big C. Love the banter, but the way you look over the good work that has been done by Arteta. Right. I'm going to give you this, right? I'm going to give you this, Jean-René. I'm going to add balance to this debate. Just so people don't think I'm just bashing him. What has Mikel Arteta done good at Arsenal, right? He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood, which I big him up for that. He's brought down the age of the squad, which is good. The squad was getting too old. And he's started to give us a bit of an identity again, which was missing probably under Emery in the second season. And he's won the FA Cup. And he is making progress. I just feel the progress is too slow and taking too long. That's what he has done well. But the facts are, all right, and he won the Community Shield. But the facts that go against that would be 2 8th place finishers, took us out of Europe for the first time in 25 years. Our best striker just went downhill straight away. And he's let players go, like Saliba, on loan, of course, like Guendouzi, who has now left. They are both in the French national team. They are currently the ranked #1 team in world football, world champions. We haven't got any players in the current Arsenal squad, in the French squad, yet one's out on loan and one's just been sold for 9 million. These are facts, Jean-René. So, respectfully, it has done well, but like Eros is saying, for me, the bad outweighs the good. And that's me being totally honest. Unai Emery's just beat Bayern Munich with Villarreal. Villarreal's got less people in that city than Milton Keynes. He's just beat Bayern Munich 1-0 at home with Francis Coquelin playing left wing, a guy we sold 5 years ago. It is what it is, people. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Vegas Gunner, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, big up Curtis. The United and West Ham games aren't being discussed as much as the Spurs game. We could end up in the Conference League. Hope to see you in LA. Listen, if Arsenal go to LA, hopefully I'll be over there. And like you said, bro, we're going to get into more detail about the fixtures and stuff anyway. They're massive games. Massive games. Big C, I get the banter, but other teams are now starting to follow our model. Again, DV, again. The model, what Mikel Arteta is trying to do, I've got no problem with it. The model makes sense. You're trying to get hungry young players and build a team for the future and create a style of football that is sustainable long term. The problem is, if you are not successful, if you don't reach goals, the project will break down. The model will break down. Because when Jurgen Klopp decides that Sadio Mane ain't the player he was, and he says, who am I going to replace him with? I'm going to go and sign Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli will leave Arsenal for Liverpool if we're not in the Champions League, if we're not progressing at a quick enough pace. All of a sudden, you've lost one of your best youngsters. Mahrez is 30. Maybe Pep says, I need a new winger. I'll take Saka. All of a sudden, your model breaks down. I need a left-sided centre-back. Real Madrid will take Gabriel, Brazilian international. Then he disappears. Then your model's all over the place. There's a time limit. He hasn't got forever. That's what I'm saying with Mikel Arteta. People say, give him time, give him time. The longer this process takes to get where it needs to get to, the more likely we are to get damaged as a club. Players will view us as a Europa League club or a club that aren't in Europe or a club that falls out with big players, Aubameyang, Ozil, Guendouzi, you know. So the reputation is the bigger thing as well. So the model makes sense, but you have to build it the right way. The idea is one thing, the execution is another. Ollie said 1.4k watching, only 300 likes. Can we hit 1,000 likes, people? Make sure you follow me on Twitch. We're nearly at 1,000 followers on there. So big up to all of you. Big up Guna Gossip TV. Hope you're well. She said good afternoon, Curtis. Big up, man. Big up. Hopefully we win tomorrow. Time's up already, said Guna Rate. Listen, I always say, people, this is one thing I always say. Nobody has to agree with my opinion. My opinion is my opinion. If your opinion is different, I respect it. You're going to have your own reasons why you believe that. For me, Mikel Arteta, never being in management, having 3 years at Arsenal with financial backing and a whole season with no fans in the stadium to really get on your back, you have been blessed to have that opportunity. Let me tell you. You have been blessed, bro. A lot of managers have been sacked way quicker and they've done way better. Carlo Ancelotti got sacked at Chelsea, you know, after winning the league and the FA Cup. He's been blessed. I'm telling you, he can never, if he was let go in the summer, he could never say they didn't give me an opportunity. You had a great opportunity. 3 years in charge and no Champions League football. I think he couldn't have anything to moan about. But anyway, let's get back into the press conference. Jean-René, you pulled me off completely there, my subject. On what he is expecting from Brighton, he said what they normally do. They're a team with a lot of personality. A coach that is very willing to play, that is very aggressive in the way they press. They want to dominate the game. They've good players, but they are very difficult to beat. They don't concede a lot of chances and opportunities in open play and set pieces. They're a threat. I mean, listen, they've won 1 in their last 7. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They drew with Norwich 0-0 last week. They need to get slapped. Not only do I want to see Arsenal win this, I would like to see Arsenal score 3 or 4 goals in this game and boost our confidence. But have we got them goals in us? Is he willing to pick the right team? And whether it will be a goal fest on Saturday, I can't see it, mate. They're not scoring and we're not. He said, you never know in football. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But obviously, we're going to try and score more goals. We're certainly creating the chances to do so, but we have struggled in recent matches to put the ball in the net, and we need to be more efficient in the opponent's box. Tomorrow, it's something we have to do because Brighton is a team that doesn't concede much. And whether our lack of goals is a worry, and if he regrets letting Balogun go on loan. Oh, my days. This for me, I mean, I hope this press conference... Like, why would you do that? You've asked half the question the correct way, and then you've basically lied at the end and said Balogun. No one's sitting here now going, oh my days, I cannot believe we let Balogun go on loan. Balogun, he was the answer to all of our problems. No, Balogun's a young player that needed to go out on loan. Ask him about Aubameyang and Aubameyang not being replaced. And before people say you're Aubameyang's loyal, I've got no problem with Aubameyang leaving the football club if that was the solution. My question is, where was the replacement? Man came out with chest. Man said, right, over to you. He said, right, with our lack of goals, do you regret letting a Balogun go? Man said, Balogun. Man, I'm telling you, I think they get like a list and say, listen, don't mention this name or that name. They look down the list, they're like, right, these are the banned words in the press conference. Ozil, Guendouzi, Aubameyang. Yeah, we can't mention Saliba's loan. January transfer window, we can't mention any of them names. Yeah, do you regret letting Pierre-Emerick Balogun leave in the summer, in January? Yeah, Balogun, he was going to solve all our problems. Don't worry about it. Yeah, a Balogun. A Balogun, a Yang on loan. He said, I haven't heard that question in the last 6 weeks. So I already forgot about the question. But what's the timing when you remind those questions? It's always after a defeat. And I don't like to comment too much. I mean, can anybody translate what he's just said for me? Because I do not speak Waffleese. What does that mean? Sean said you could tell it killed Vieira beating us. Yeah, but he's got to do what he's got to do. He'll probably end up with the Arsenal job if he keeps beating us. Man said I haven't heard that question in 6 weeks. I've never heard that question. Let me be real. I've never heard anybody ask him about Balogun. So I already forgot about that question. But that's the timing when you remind those questions. Yeah, obviously. If we just beat someone 3-0, we're not going to go, wow, man, you must regret, not getting a striker. You're only going to mention it after a game where you didn't score. E. Ross said, translate is Waffleese curtly. You are turning into Arteta. Riddle me this, people. Riddle me this. Yeah, our Champions League hopes were down to Balogun, who's hardly made a first-team appearance. The cap in this question is unbelievable. I would love to know who asked that question. I feel like tweeting them. They're definitely not allowed to mention Aubameyang's name. It's a fact. On not losing many games recently, he said, that's why we don't get asked the question. So is he referring to the last question? He's basically saying, I would say, because we win, you don't ask him about regretting Balogun. Now we've lost, you're asking him about Balogun. I mean, I'm done here. He's all over the place. On how we get the best out of Nuno Tavares. I'd get him on that Walthamstow dog track, mate. That's how you get the best out of Nuno Tavares, mate. You see him run when that bell goes, mate, and he starts chasing after the hare. It starts chasing after him. Nuno Tavares in lane 1. That's how you get the best out of Tavares, man, let me tell you. But hey, it is what it is, man. Elliot said, Balogun, the new dropout now. Go man music. Man didn't want to say his name. It's a bad boy one, man. He said, nah, I can't say it. Man looked at him and said, what, don't you dare say it. Man said, do you regret letting Arteta gave him the look. He was like, Balogun go in January? He was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Don't you dare mention his name. Curtis, the question was, do you regret letting Aubameyang go and Balogun on loan? The transcript is trying to hide the fact they mentioned Aubameyang. Wow. Wow. That is unbelievable. I'm going to listen to it back after. People, man's telling me, dupe, and I know I know you ain't going to cap. So basically, they're saying they said Aubameyang and Balogun, and they only wrote Balogun down. That's crazy. That's mad. Like, what's the problem? What is the problem? You can tell that the club don't feel right about the way that happened, because all of a sudden, Aubameyang's like a dirty word that you can't mention. If you just felt like, you know what, it was the best for everyone that he left, why is there a problem? They're actually banning the man's name from a press conference when people are saying that they actually asked him about both. That's crazy. You could tell the question wasn't nothing to do with Balogun. Clement said players to watch: Bissouma, Mopé, Lamptey and Gross. And of course, Danny Welbeck, who probably looked like R9 against Arsenal. But yeah, Mopé, Bissouma and them. That Trossard, he's decent as well. Thank you for finally reading my comment. Hey, patience is a virtue, my friend. Patience is a virtue. Arteta gave that reporter the Will Smith Jada Pinkett stare, I'm telling you. Man started laughing. Man said, yo, Aubameyang. Man looked at him like that, and man said, keep Aubameyang's name out your effing mouth. Yo, I'm telling you, I need to get it on Twitch. I need to. We got to start watching it afterwards as well, cod boy. Right, let me carry on how we get the best out of Tavares. His confidence probably wasn't the best. I'd say that's an understatement, mate. As he wasn't playing a lot of minutes, probably wasn't at his best. He needs the rhythm, the competition, and the understanding with his teammates. We have to help him do that. At the end of the day, when you're in a match, you have to decide if something can change the game and how we can make it better. And on Monday, we made that decision. I would say that decision, it didn't really help us. You know, we ended up losing 3-0, but hey, it is what it is. He needed to change something. Oh, mate, these journos went to university to ask these questions, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, you talk about the guy's confidence. His confidence must be at rock bottom, I'm telling you. On if Tierney will miss Scotland's World Cup qualifiers. I mean, I'm not being funny, right? And big up everyone who supports Scotland. I know you got big games coming up in the summer. But we got big problems going off at Arsenal. Right now, I'm not really too concerned about Scotland's World Cup qualifiers. Them man have got Robertson to play left back. Do you know what I mean? Even though Tierney got a centre-back in form card, actually, for Scotland, so he must play centre-back for them. But I ain't really thinking about Scotland, bro. I'm thinking why you let him play for Scotland and mash up the man's knee, you know? He said, I don't know. He just had surgery yesterday. It's very early to understand how everything is going to develop. He's going to be out for the period that we estimate, in which condition he will be after that period. I think it's too soon to say something else. Ridiculous. Absolutely. Ups, they'll never let me in that press conference. Never. And if they do, I wouldn't be in it for long. And it would definitely be my last one. That is for sure. On whether he would be disappointed if he played those games. But the man just said, I don't know when he's back. What are you asking him that for? I think the player has to do the max. I'm skipping it. I'm not even reading that. We're not doing that. On how damaging Monday was, he said, embrace the challenge. You lost, now you want to win. It's hurting and it's still hurting. We lost 2 big players, 2 really important players for us for sure. But whenever that happens, you can't cry for it because they are not going to be available for us. So we have to find other solutions and we have to be as good and as competitive as we have been. Now, let me start by saying this. That answer is brilliant. The answer is brilliant. I applaud the answer. I actually love what you've said there. However, this is where my problem is. Why did you not work harder to stop us being in this situation in January? We know Thomas Partey is injury prone. Thomas Partey did an interview at the end of December giving himself 4 out of 10 for the season. So it's not like he was on fire and he was going AFCON. Granit Xhaka was injured. You let Ainsley go to Roma. Sambi, you pulled him out the team. We were calling him Bambi Lakonga. El Neni is nowhere near good enough. He went to AFCON. So why did you not sign a midfielder in January? You knew about AFCON since last year. Ask him that question. Ask him that. Ask him why, with one injury, we have a midfield crisis. Who else puts themselves in that situation? If Man United lose Pogba, they can deal with it. He's a big loss, but they've got a few players. In fact, maybe that's the wrong example. They've got McFred. But Chelsea and all these teams around us, they can afford to lose a player and deal with it. It's not alarm bells. The alarm bells are ringing at the Emirates now that Thomas Partey's out. And we can't score goals. And he's saying we create chances. We're fifth from bottom in chances created. So you've spoke like an absolute beast, mate. I love what you've said. That's Martin Luther King. That's Mikel Luther King. Man said, embrace the challenge. I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen. But, bro, they ain't nothing at the top of the mountain because you left us empty-handed. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, but he's learning on the job. Hey, 4 more transfer windows. I'm telling you, 4 more transfer windows. He's going to do some damage, this manager. Top 6 won't know what's hit him, mate. Elliot said, embrace the challenge. The new Celine Dion style inspirational tune from Amma Train out now on Coleman Music. He talks a beautiful game. That guy needs to be a politician. I'm telling you. You'd vote his party if you heard a speech from him. He's the type of guy who'd make you vote for his party and then he'd knock down your house. You know, he's one of them guys. Martin Luther Cohn. Oh, my. Martin Luther Cohn, you know. Yo, this brother. Martin Luther Cohn, fam. Man is dropping speeches that he don't stand behind. Man says, vote for me, I'll sort out the community. Then he knocks down your housing estate and builds a brand new Tesco. He's one of them guys, people. He said, on talking to Tavares... Jerry just said, double checked, and the question does mention Aubameyang. Wow. I mean, at this point, I should end the stream. I should just end the stream. They're scared to mention Aubameyang's name. That's when you know they've done something wrong. But I'm going to leave it because they'll call me a lawyer, and I don't want to be called a lawyer. Big up Jerry with the super chat. On talking to Tavares, I mean... I'm not sure Arteta speaks dog language, but anyway, let's move, people. He said... always I speak with the players, and I spoke with Nuno because I care about how feel. Oh, they're at it again, messing up the words. They don't check what they've written, but hey. Man said, I have a cone that one day all cones can go on the same football pitch, whether they're red, yellow, blue, black, white. All cones will be together as one, people. Yeah, do you know what? Dr. Doolittle, mate. He can speak to pets, can't he? So maybe it's Mikel Doolittle. But yeah, they're deleting Aubameyang's name from the transcript. I don't get that. Someone needs to figure that out for me. But he said, we are here to help them and make their careers better. That was a decision that hurt him, obviously, but he understands that it was for the benefit of their team and he respects that. Now he needs to react to that situation because he has a great opportunity to learn a lot in that period of his career. I mean, yeah, he's going to learn a lot, mate. He's going to learn how to get substituted in every minute of the game. Oh, my days. He said, on letting players go in January, he said, I don't know if we have to justify it. You don't know if you have to just... I mean... Give me a second. He sold 6, bought none, but you don't have to justify it. Oh, Martin Luther Cohn. That's the one of the day for me. You don't need to justify it. Who are we, mate? We're just peasants. You know, you don't know us an explanation. Who are we? We're only the fans of the football club. I don't need to justify myself. I'm the manager. You know? Don't need no justification. I should end it, shouldn't I? I should just walk out. I should actually leave right now. On letting players go in January. I don't know if we have to justify it. Man said we, so he's grouping man together. Man's bringing Edu into the group. We have to make a decision based on what we see every day, how the players can contribute in that role that they have at the club, or if they cannot do it or they don't want to do it. We find solutions, and that's what we always try to do. He doesn't have to explain anything. Who are we, you know? Little ants running around the floor, mate. Little peasants, you know? Ah. Nah, tell him to shut up. How come you didn't sign no one in January? Shut up. Don't have to justify myself to you, mate. I'm the manager. I've got a nice hairstyle. Got gel all over it. Malcolm X, people. Yeah, he's gone from Martin Luther to Malcolm. This is Malcolm X. Man said, by any means necessary. I should end the stream. I'm done. I feel like going. Yeah, you don't have to justify it. But don't worry, people. New training kit out next week. Make sure you get it. Live on the website. The Teflon Don, man. Teflon Don. Man said, stay scheming. Curtis always mad at me. Dog. Yo. Man's firing shots. He don't give a damn. This man's actually got the ego of Mourinho and Pep and Klopp all put together. But the performance of Alan Pardew. So this is where it don't quite add up to me. On playing players out of position, he said, yeah, it's not like we don't have players. We have players. I wasn't aware of that, Mikel, mate. I didn't know that. It's a bit strange that for a football team to have players. I mean, wow. Man said, it's not like we don't have players. We have players. Oh, we got players. Hey, we got players. We got them. Don't worry, people. We got players. Oh, what was I panicking about? What were we all panicking about? Tierney's out. Partey's out. Laka can't hit a barn door. Eddie Nketiah hasn't scored all season in the league. We got players. We got players. They're just not good enough. They're not good enough, people. Oh, my days. We got players. I love it. We've got players. Panic over. I didn't think we had any players, but we have. And there you go, Jake. We need ballers. Everybody's got players, fam. Everybody's got players, but ballers. That's what I'm asking you about. We ain't got no players. Or we ain't got no ballers. Kai said that's disrespectful to Alan Pardew. Arteta is the same level as Gary Neville at Valencia. Oh, dear. Boris the Solution Johnson. I'm telling you, Mikel Boris Johnson, man. Yeah, we got Sherman Klump. He said, oh, man, he's throwing me off. We are more short in certain players where we have more injuries. I mean, you're saying more injuries. We got 2 injuries. We got 2. So, are you like, as a squad, we can't cope with 2 injuries. 2 injuries, mate. And we're in a crisis. He said, it's unlikely to happen and hasn't happened in the 7 previous months in the season. But what can you do? Any team would be in trouble. I should end the stream. I really should end the stream. I mean, Jake, I need a beer, mate. Can we get a beer in here, please? Oh, my days. Oh, yeah, 3 injuries, Tomiyasu. I got Vimto in here. I need Ray and Nephews. We've got 3 injuries. They've got to shut down the shop. You ever go to the shop and the guy just leaves a note on the door? Back in half an hour, gone for lunch. Arsenal's closing down because we've got 3 injuries. Man said, what? Anyone would be in trouble in this. But let me just finish before we finish. I had to have a moment of silence there because I'm baffled. He said, it's unlikely to happen and hasn't happened in the 7 previous months in the season. But what can you do? What do I really expect him to do? I mean, I couldn't expect my manager to sign players in a January transfer window. Who would do that? You'd be a fool to do that. Actually sign players to prepare yourself. Then he says, any team would be in trouble. Three injuries. 3 injuries. Any team would be in trouble. How could you possibly deal with 3 injuries? I mean, nah. Mikel, mate, you or something else. This goes down in history. This is one of the... I don't know how I'm going to look. Is this the worst press conference or the best? Depending on how you look at this show today. But I do not understand what's going off. Any team would be in trouble having 3 injuries. He said it hasn't happened in the previous 7 months. So he literally said to himself, we're not going to get no injuries this season. He thought, you know what, we'll get through the whole season without injuries. I mean, AC said 3 is the magic number. Listen, mate, any team would be in trouble. How the hell are you going to deal with 3 injuries? I mean, you know what I mean? Hey, big up School Foggery, man. Fogger, man said any team would be in trouble. Man City entered the chat. Unbelievable. I'm done with this guy. I'm sorry, I can't cope. I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it there, people. I've had enough. I'm going to need a beer after that. People, that goes down as one of the, depending on how we're looking at it, the best or the worst press conferences I've ever listened to in my entire life. I actually wish I'd done that on Twitch. I wouldn't... I think I'd have smashed the laptop, the TV, and, I don't know, the microphone would have gone out the window. Wow. Man said I'm a hater. Anyone would struggle with it, Kai, mate. 3 injuries? How the hell could you deal with 3 injuries, Kai? Yeah, mate. All right, I'm a hater. I'm full of waffle, mate. Khalid said I need an aspirin. I'm done, people. Thank you very much for tuning in, people. Really appreciate it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Follow me on Twitch. I'm full, people. I'm going to have indigestion. I've had so much waffle. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow, 2:15. Arsenal v Brighton watch along. 5:15, Aston Villa v Tottenham. And Sunday, 4 o'clock, Man City against Liverpool. Watch along settings, people. What a show it's been today. Andrew said, I blame Arteta for it. He didn't want to buy someone better than Xhaka in Lokonga last summer. Now we are left with 2 average midfielders. Listen, mate, anybody would struggle. How the hell would you cope with 3 injuries? That's what Arteta said. 3 injuries is too much for anybody to cope with. So... what do I know, people? What do I know? Big up to all of you for tuning in. It's been an absolutely epic stream. Nothing but laughter. Man's been singing, laughing, shouting, drinking. We even had a moment of silence. Mikel Arteta's Red and White Army, people. Arsenal v Brighton tomorrow. Watch along. Make sure you tune in. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And any more injuries, they'll have to close down the training ground, people. See you all tomorrow, people. Bless.